Hi, it's James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Rove Jr., published by Button Shy Games. Now you're going to be like, well, hey, you already reviewed Rove Jr. Well, I reviewed the preview copy of Rove Jr. This is the final copy of, retail copy of Rove Jr. And I wanted to give it another review, just see what changed and from the preview version, and show you how to play the game. So let's go down to the table. I'm going to show you how to play Rove Jr., and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Alright, so this is Rove Jr. Even the most advanced Rove, which is a result-oriented, versatile explorer, needs a bit of training before he can tackle a trip to outer space. Practice your skills on this course and see how you get. Congratulations, you have been accepted to the Rove training program. Let's teach you the basics of this game. Well, in this game, you're going to have some components you're going to be paying attention to. These are going to be the module cards that you're going to be moving around to make different patterns. And these cards here are going to be your 14 movement cards that you're going to be used for the entire game. What you're going to do for setup here is you're going to shuffle up these cards, place out these 4 module cards, doesn't matter in what order there are. You're going to place out a card from the top of the deck, and this is going to be the first pattern that you're going to try to complete. And you're going to deal out 5 cards. You'll place this over here so that you have a card draw pile and you have a place to discard your cards. So you'll have your 5 cards. Now these 5 cards, you're going to look at them in this order here. So these are going to have different things going for them, which I'll show you in a minute, but that's setup. Your goal in this game is going to be to complete 7 missions. If you can complete 7 missions, you can win the game here. Now, what we're going to be doing on our turn is we're going to be playing a card here. And we're going to play these cards here, like this says move. I can move either the brain module or the gear widget module here. This one I can move any of them. So I look at these cards and I look at the pattern here. Now it doesn't matter which cards go into which place here, but as soon as I meet this pattern here, I get to reset and go to the next round, which I'll show you here in a second. So I'm going to be trying to make this L-shaped pattern. When I move a card, I can move a card horizontally or vertically any distance, so as long as they still connect. So I can move this like this. I could move this card like this. What I can't do is move this card over here because now nothing is connected. So in this game, everything has to be touching by an edge here or a corner to be legal. Now, these cards also have one-time abilities that I could use. They don't cost a card play, but when I use them, they get flipped over and I can't use that ability anymore. Like this one says discard an entire hand and draw back up to a full hand, so I can get up 5 cards. This one here, I can move another module to be adjacent to this one, which is pretty cool. This one here, I can move this module to any valid position, so it just sort of teleports. And this one, I can move an adjacent module to any valid position, which is cool. Now, I primarily will be going through these cards because I don't want to use those abilities unless I have to, and I'm going to be trying to make that L pattern there. So how am I going to do that? As an example here, I could say, okay, well, I'm going to move the brain. I'm going to move the brain up. All right. Then I'm going to move the gizmo down. Then I'll move the brain over. Look, I made that pattern. So these cards get discarded, and I draw up to 5 cards again, so I can get ready to do the next pattern. Then I'm going to take this card and I'll place it like this. So it's going to create a scene as we go by. And I'm going to try to make this pattern now. So this pattern is going to require that I have 2 in the middle here and 1 over. So I have these 5 cards here. I might move this one up. And then I can move this card over. Now I could have used any of these abilities I wanted, but that's it. That's going to get the pattern I want, and then I can move on to the next pattern. And as soon as I finish 7 patterns, I win the game. If you ever run out of cards in this deck, you're just going to take the discard pile and shuffle it back so you have cards. That's it. So you're either going to run out of cards and abilities and not be able to complete the pattern. In that case, you'll lose. Or you'll be able to complete 7 patterns and win. And each time you will be going up to your hand limit. Now, this is a good introductory game for children here. once they get the hang of this, you're going to want to make the game more difficult. So instead of 5 cards, you could go down to 4 cards for hard. And in that case, whenever you finish anything or withdraw or draw back up, you're always going to only draw up to 4 cards. In addition to that, you could do a super hardened version where you only have 3 cards. In that case, anytime you draw between rounds there, you're going to only draw up to 3 cards. So those are 3 different modes, and this is going to be how you're going to play Rove Jr. Let's go ahead back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this game. All right, so that was Rove Jr. Now, Rove Jr. here, 18 cards, just like all the other Button Shy games. And this is going to be in the Rove line. There's other Rove games. There's going to be Rove and Aqua Rove. And those are going to be more complex games. This game is more for the kid end on here. So this can teach younger kids how to do patterns and how to figure out the logic puzzle that is Rove Jr. Now, you can adjust this by age. So if you have a really young kid, you could go to the 5 cards, but you can make it harder with a 4, or if you have an older child, you can go down to the 3 and make it where they really have to think about movement economy and getting everything set up correctly. So this game here is definitely geared for the younger audience. If you're looking at this as a gamer, this isn't for you. This is going to be for younger children to learn valuable gaming skills and valuable logic skills. This game is great for that. I'd highly recommend getting this game to have for your kids and get them into gaming, not only, but also help them learn logic and have to solve puzzles. So I really like this game for it. It's a really engaging game with a nice art in it. So yes, so if you have some kids and you're looking for a fun game that they can play and learn some valuable skills, I would highly recommend Rove Jr. And that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.